welcome back. You're watching Newsx. US President Donald Trump announced a gold card visa scheme for US citizenship for a hefty fee of USD $5 million. The proposed gold card visa scheme raises the financial requirement by 5 times to $5 million. The hefty price makes it out of reach for middle tier investors, despite being a much faster and simpler route to getting US residency. The $5 million price tag means only India's super rich and business tycoons can afford this direct route to get American residency. It is likely to increase the woes of skilled professionals who are already reeling under long wait times, in some cases extending decades for green cards. Moreover, under the EB-5, applicants could take loans or pool funds, while the gold card visa requires full cash payment up front, making it further out of reach for a major chunk of Indians. For Indians, the H-1B work visa program remains the preferred route. Indians on H-1B visas can also apply for the gold card as long as they can pay $5 million. Meanwhile, let's listen into what US President Trump had to say about this.
We're going to be doing something else that's going to be very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. Never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks, Howard? Do you want to say?
All right, let's talk about this with our panelists. Ambassador Funchuk Stobdan, former diplomat, joins us on this conversation. Major General J.K. Bansal, defense expert, former member of the NDMA, also with us on the show. Mr. Raja Munib, foreign affairs expert, joins us on the show here to talk more about this. Last but not the least, Joyita Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian, with me in the studio. Joyita, this obviously is an idea which can only come from Donald Trump. Of course, he's the author of Art of the Deal, and he understands that if you want to bring in money to America, he feels there's a lot of money that the American people have spent, the taxpayers have spent, which has gone to waste, and now his endeavor is to bring all that money back. Is this the best case scenario that Donald Trump can propose, that people pay money to get citizenship for American residency? That is also not a way to filter the kind of people you will get.
Well, not just pay money, pay such a hefty amount that you are only going to
40
get
40 crore rupees.
Yes, that you are only going to get the best of the best in terms of money and business leaders from different countries.
But why would anybody who has 40 crore rupees in India want to move to the United States?
Well, so many of these people are already moving, isn't it? The high net worth individuals. Okay, so they are already doing it, so it's their choice. But frankly, if you ask me, there is no reason to cry over, the Indians struggling away and waiting for green card and all. Frankly, I have got zero sympathies for them. You guys have left your country, you guys have gone there, you think that you are going to be, having a first world lifestyle which you cannot afford to have here. But the kind of money that you have been, anybody struggling away over there to get a first world lifestyle would have been happier, I think, in India with the kind of effort and the money they are already wasting over there. So frankly, when it comes to things like, these people waiting for decades for green card and all, zero sympathies. And those who have gold card, fine, if you have the money, you think that's good enough reason to abandon your country and go there, well, all I can say is pity to you, be happy there.
All right, that's a good point. But the fact of the matter is, Mr. Munib, that Donald Trump understands that the American citizenship is still, in demand. There are aspirations of the American dream which are still alive. Donald Trump is an embodiment of this aspiration. Do you think other people are going to buy this case that Donald Trump is selling, that $5 million can get you in the United States, hook, line and sinker, no other conditions attached or involved? And what does this really mean for the Indian who's trying to move to America and make a future for himself or herself?
Thank you. See, what he's doing is he's basically getting in the high wealth creators in the country. He's looking at getting people who have high worth of money and treasure money, who can come in America, create a number of jobs, and become citizens. And there would be a few who would actually like to do it because of the ease of business, or they want to do more networking, they want to create more wealth, which is easier in America. The corporate system is much easier in America. So there would be people who would go ahead and buy it. But what does it mean for Indians? Honestly, look, more than half of the world doesn't give you that route. You have so many Indians who work in Middle East for the rest of their lives. They are not looking at citizenships there. They create their wealth, they make their money, and they come back to India. So I don't think why there should be a problem for Indians, who want to get and naturalize, who want to become U.S. citizens. At the end of the day, it's U.S. prerogative if they want you in their country or they don't want you in the country. But saying that, look, Americans are also, if you look at the Indian diaspora abroad, or if you look at Indians who go abroad, most of them go on work visas, and they look the preferred route of green card to stay in America, to stay back in America. Most of them belong to the tech companies out there. So it's still a preferred route. It will still be a preferred route for a lot of Indians. But saying that, there is no obligation on US to offer you their citizenship or a long-term stay. Just because you have come and you are living in that country, or you're working in that country. You can very well work in that country, and I completely agree with Joyita, man. You're very welcome to work in America for the rest of your lives, and then come back to India and live in India. It also gives an opportunity for a lot of entrepreneurs to instead now look at ways to set up their own businesses in India rather than moving or shifting it abroad to America. And it can be a boon for it can be a bane for the boon and bane for both for US as well as India. But as far as Trump is concerned, he's looking at high wealth creators who can actually accelerate the American economy. And good luck to him if Indians want to go ahead and buy that 40-50 crore worth of visas to get green cards and then eventually their US citizenships. Nobody is stopping them from doing that. Nobody is going to go after them. But at the end of the day, I think it's Trump's way of saying that, there's a lot of mediocrity which is happening in the way where people are coming in and, making a middle income wealth and then trying to be US citizens. So I think he wants to get rid of that process completely justified in my sense as well.
Okay, all right. Let's also get a point of view from Ambassador Stobdan in this. Ambassador Stobdan, do you think this is a process of killing the dreams of millions of people who aspire to go to the United States, or do you think Donald Trump is in fact being smart about this?
Well, I agree mostly with the previous speaker. I don't think United States is the first country to do such a thing. Many other countries, have such preconditions. Maybe the amount vary from $500,000 to $1 million or whatever it is. But the point is that there are many countries which does not even allow with money also. So the point is you can't debate much on what the United States is doing on the immigration and visa issues. What it makes a difference is that Trump is trying to make United States a market rather than a good nation. This is where the difference comes. There are many countries you can equate with Singapore and many other countries which also offer citizenship. But, United States has been regarded as a great nation. And Trump is hell-bent on sort of undermining that. That's the problem. Indians can go or don't go. That's not so much of an issue. Frankly, I feel that when you think that we are doing great things, 8% growth, and Viksit Bharat and all that, why should anybody live? Unless you have some medical problem or some political issues, ideological issues, which I don't see. We are a democracy, we adjust. But I do think, the colony where I live, most of the well-off people have left in the last couple of years. Especially in the last couple of years, many of my friends have left. When I ask them this question, why do you want to leave? I mean, not just to the United States, but to any other country. I don't know. They don't give you adequate explanation as to what kind of things which suffocate them here That's a question. It's not a single answer that you will find. Many people have different reasons to leave the country, but certainly yes, it will affect those who want to go there. Personally, I think it should not happen like that. I'm sure they will find a way out with India.
General Bansal, Donald Trump is extremely concerned about illegal immigration. He's extremely concerned about the fact that the assimilation has not happened to a large extent, but also it's not reached a point that Europe is going through at this stage. Where the assimilation is obviously becoming worse. You have a new government in Germany as well. The conservative government has taken over, and that's all because of the immigration policies of the last few governments. Do you think that Donald Trump, in his decision to implement something so exorbitant, is also sending everyone a clear message?
Good evening, Vineet. As now he has said that yes, there could be about 10 million such a golden card will be there, and the other 10 million, the 20 million people were there which were illegally residing over there. So now they are cleansing those illegal migrants and try to bring the rich person. But I don't think many people will go, and not from India, but definitely oligarch like from Russia who has got a lot of money and which has been clarified, and Donald Trump has also accepted. Okay, yes, the oligarchs can be accepted for this. There are the people like say in China who are having money, but they feel suffocated. The laws are hard, and they don't. When this is not a democratic country, may go over there. As far as India is concerned, the Indian people, they used to go, the talent used to go for this, for the job, to better future, but not that they will spend money or go. Maybe very few people will go, or there is the provision that if somebody can go can pay $5 million, or may company over there may hire them or may pay for them if some talent is there. So this, I think, is what basically they are feeling, that the people who are coming by paying $800,000, that is about $1 million, and those people are not good. They are nonsense. They are creating this problem, that problem. Mainly the people like this, they have to create a job, 10 people, and they are in the construction business or maybe in the motor industry, something like that. So this is just a kind of more than getting money, it may be just a restriction. And one thing I would like to, that the policy of America has been the best people. Whenever they used to have the best brain in the world and giving the lucrative job over there, now they're trying to get the best or the richest person over there. So I hope, I don't think it may succeed. I understand these kind of the proposal were there earlier also, and the people, they went to court and it was not accepted, and now how much successful it will be. But definitely by this they will, this EB5, this 1,000, this $1 million, the issue will be over by this method. So let us see. But one thing will be good for India at least, that the good people or brilliant or talent, they will be in India. They will not try to go to abroad, and we will have better, our development, our future, their future and our future, both countries' future and their future will be better here. And I feel that in metropolitan city, the conditions, living conditions and the opportunities are as good as in the US. Rather, they have to struggle a lot, and all the time they are aiming to get a green card, which is they struggle a lot. But now less people will go and more will be here only. Back to you, Vineet.
Joyita, there is no vetting here. There is no waiting process. You pay the money, and you become, a part of the US ecosystem. How is that good for the Americans? Are there any details about how they're going to vet the money, at least where it's come from?
Well, the thing is, you see, somebody who can afford to pay 43 crore rupees and all, I don't think that they really care for the vetting over there, I am certain. But yeah, the possibility is always there that they are going to get some mafia from Mexico and some drug lord, some cartel boss and all. That possibility is always there, but I am certain their intelligence system there's some kind of vetting of course happens somewhere. I'm certain they will have to do some kind of a biometric and all. So, some minimum I think vetting will happen somewhere, because otherwise you will get all these cartel bosses flooding the US and becoming all citizens and all. But say for example, people in say India for example, if they can afford to spend 43 crores, well, I don't think, I mean they are the big shots, they are very much there. So, I don't think any vetting is needed, they are not going there and going to indulge in petty theft and all. So, but yeah, when it comes to criminal activities, well, we cannot say what is going to happen there, So, it's ultimately what, listen, this is very trademark Donald Trump, money matters, nothing else, cash counts, it's all about cash. That's what he is doing. Look at his foreign policy, look at whatever he is doing, all that he is finally, I mean, firmly talking about is the deal, okay? And let's cut the deal. When it comes to Ukraine, when it comes to Russia, when it comes to anything and everything, he wants a deal, okay? And this is also part of the deal.
Mr. Muneeb, do you think that if you can afford to pay 43 crore rupees and move to the United States, that would be the country you choose? There are other countries as well, which was pointed out by Ambassador Astobdan as well. There are other countries who do this as well. Don't you think that Donald Trump is opening a Pandora's box over there?
Look, if you're asking me if I have that kind of money, no, I'm not moving to United States for sure. But saying that, there are a lot of people who would actually want to do that, right? Look, this is not, Donald Trump is not doing something unique. If you go through the visa processes, there is something called investor's visa, which the Australians, the New Zealand and the Europeans have. You have a certain amount of cash, you show it in a bank account, you are able to transfer that money to that country. Deal is up, you get the visa, you get your green card or permanent residency or whatever. So that it's not something which is unique what Donald Trump is trying to do. He's merely copying these things of getting high value investors into the country. As far as vetting is concerned, of course, there would be intelligence vetting would happen, as Joyita pointed out. Otherwise you have these mafias who are multimillionaires sitting. But would the mafia want to go to US and get persecuted? Is the question, right? You have to be careful about that as well. Or would any terror sympathizer who has a lot of money or a terror nexus guy who has a lot of money would actually risk himself going to United States? I don't think so. But what I think is he's just putting out an option like other countries, that United States is one more option where people can think about bringing their money in. Now, yes, the amount is a bit more, I would say, than, it also depends on the dollar valuation and what the dollar values in today's state. But at the end of the day, he's looking at wealth creators. That's about it.
Mr. Stobdan, diplomatically, does this create any, rifts and ripples with the kind of policy that Donald Trump is advocating? Is that also going to be impacted in the way that Indians look at moving to the United States? Let's not forget that the H-1B program that the Americans have extended, India is the biggest benefactor of that. How is that going to be impacted?
No, judging from what has happened in the last couple of months on the illegal migrants who have been deported back to India, nothing has really come out of that issue. They've been handcuffed, brought to Amritsar in aircraft, all that halla walla that we made, but it is really not impacted the bilateral relationship. Well, it's an issue on the agenda, on the bilateral agenda, but it's a legislation which does not really impact us. We don't have too much say in what the United States does domestically or whatever it is. So I don't see, the point here is that whether the rich Indians will go or not, that's a different issue. But the possibility of poor people being allowed to come, that has been eliminated. Then they're filtering down. They're filtering down, say, the poor countries like Afghans or some African countries here and there. That's the biggest source of immigration, illegal migration. That has been blocked now. Very super rich or whatever elite will go. Of course, there is an economic factor. There is a brain factor. There's so many brain drain. All these issues are involved. My thinking is that it is linked with the Ukrainian crisis. which the United States is willing to resolve it now with the exchange of a lot of minerals and a lot of other things. The entire oligarchy of Ukraine, I have read somewhere that the possibility of migration to United States, because rebuilding Ukraine will take about 30 years or 20 years. And Ukraine has got so much strategic resources, people are willing to sell. In fact, the entire war was all about, all these minerals, extracting these minerals. So I think it's part of the package, which, with the war and industrial complexes and all these things are linked with this. So I think they're fine-tuned with immigration, which will make possible only for those people, especially in Ukraine and other areas, even maybe Russia. General Saab has just mentioned Russia. The Russians thing is well known. All the oligarchs go there. But Ukraine is a new field. I don't think that the war in Middle East impact too much. The sheikhs go, but sheikhs don't have to illegally migrate. So I think it's a very interesting times. We can't do much about it. We can brood about it a little bit. That's it.
Go ahead.
No, my quick point is, you see, one of the reasons why all this is happening and all this sending Indians back and all, because there is too much corruption involved in the system, where Indians including and many other nationalities also, they have misused, abused and exploited the loopholes in a manner that that is the reason why there is so much illegal immigration is such a big issue in the West. And you see, at the same time, to an extent, even the West is responsible for this, because they know very well, all these people from a particular section of the population in India, they all go to the US and Canada seeking political asylum. Now, these immigration officers, these people, these Americans and these Canadians, they know very well that this question of this political asylum is basically a complete fraud, but they are also looking for people who will be doing these janitorial jobs for them, that menial labor, simple as that. So they allow these political asylum seekers to come in, knowing very well that these are all fraud cases. I mean, 99.99% of these cases are fraud. But why would anybody, say for example, the country's government will be going after a grocer in a particular state, in some corner of one particular state. Okay, so this is, and they have allowed it to happen, but then because these illegal routes are there, and of course how this is donkey routes and all, so this has exploded to this extent, and now it's such a big issue.
All right. Okay. On that note, we'll dip into a short break, but appreciate the perspective and the responses we got to this unique way for Donald Trump to bring in money to the United States. We'll be right back.